Hey, do you ever wonder what you're going to eat when you're out here OTRing for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or however long you go out here for? What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? Well, my name's Kevin. I'm a solo driver for Crete Carrier, and you're watching The Joy of Trucking. I want to answer a viewer's question today. He's asking what it is I eat when I'm out here on the road and what my meal planning is like. So I got to tell you, first of all, I've always tried to make healthy choices in my diet. I look at nutrition, and I also read the labels, and I want to see, if there's food additives and food coloring and how much sugar content there is, and preservatives. That's another thing. Like, read the labels, see what you're putting in yourself. Keep that sugar level down. That really doesn't help you. Actually, you wind up getting a little sugar rush at first, and then you crash and you're more tired than ever. You might get diabetes or cancer or stuff like that. You really got to look at your overall health picture and your nutrition. Okay. With that in mind, I gotta say I eat a lot of fresh vegetables and do a lot of my own cooking. I don't want to eat out a lot, because a lot of the stuff in the restaurants, like these diners and truck stops and places like that, to me it's very processed. It's kind of short order cooked stuff that's like frozen, microwave, deep fried. None of that is really good for you. And don't even get me started on the Rolo grill in there in the truck stop. Don't go there. So basically, I like to eat breakfast is like my main meal. A lot of people skip that, but I can't start my day without it. I really run out of steam without it. I start the day with some oatmeal, and I'll throw stuff on like chia seeds and coconut and maybe a little cocoa, some frozen berries, stuff like that. Maybe even a little honey, just to brighten it up, but also add some extra nutritional value. I will take time to prepare food that I'm going to eat all day. I kind of munch and nosh and pick at stuff rather than stopping and sitting down and having a full lunch. I just kind of nibble all day, so I'm never hungry, and I'm always eating good stuff for me. I don't have any excuse to run in there and grab something, this and that. I will prepare fresh vegetables, carrots and radishes, celery, cucumber, sweet peppers. I'll wash them, I'll peel them, I'll get them all ready in a bowl and stick them in the fridge. And then I'll get some hard-boiled eggs, orange, apple, banana, and off I go. Now I'm off and running. I don't have to stop and prepare food or make a meal or anything all day. I can keep going while I'm on the clock. I'm being productive. So all through the morning, I'll have those hard-boiled eggs with a little salt. I'll have those slices of orange. I'll have a granola bar. I like those granola bars. And then about the middle of the day, I'll reach into the fridge, pull out that bowl of fresh vegetables, all chopped and ready to go. I have my little piece of chocolate. I like that pure chocolate, 100% or 95% pure chocolate. So you're not getting a lot of sugar, and you're not getting any dairy. You're not getting food additives and emulsifiers and flavoring and all that stuff. Just chocolate. To me, I want it pure. One of the things I'll get is cacao nibs, and it's basically the cacao nut that you get chocolate from. They dry it, they crush it, so it's in little chunks, and that's all I get. So it hasn't been processed in any way. It doesn't have anything added to it, and I'll munch on those sometimes too. Gives me a little caffeine rush without the sugar or anything like that, so it's good to pick you up early in the morning if you're gonna have a long day. I'm always careful not to do anything chocolate after 3 or 4 in the afternoon, because sometimes it makes it harder to get to sleep at night. I don't want to be lying there at midnight tossing and turning when I got to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's not productive. Another thing I do is I make some tea. This is my tea bell. So I'll take loose leaf tea, put it in there, and then I got my trusty cup. I got this going all day. I got the tea bell floating in there, and I'll just keep adding hot water to it. So in the morning, it's pretty strong. And as the day goes by, it gets a little weaker, but I've always got something to drink. I'm always staying hydrated. And I don't drink those caffeinated teas. I don't do black tea or green tea or any of that stuff. I do like licorice tea, mint tea. I got cardamom. So I'm not getting that caffeine rush, from the tea. So my level is very level. Just get my little bit of chocolate every now and then. That helps. So I will say on the truck here, I've got a kettle for boiling water, because you don't always have access to hot water. If you might not be at a truck stop, you might be at a rest stop or parked out in the desert somewhere. So you got that kettle for boiling water. And sometimes I'll take a sweet potato and cut it up small and stick it in there and cook it in the kettle. So it's boiled sweet potato. Really good stuff. Good for you. And I have an electric skillet. So I will fry stuff in there, like some refried beans. I eat liver once a week for the iron. So I'll fry that up in my frying pan. And I'll have some sauerkraut with that. And I buy the sauerkraut that's just cabbage and salt and water. So there's no preservatives, there's no sweeteners, there's no food coloring. And it's very high in vitamin C, by the way. And so when you got these appliances, you gotta check the wattage on them. Like, make sure they're not gonna trip your inverter. So we got a fridge and an inverter supplied with the truck. Thank you very much, Crete. That allows me to bring food along and cook it and all that stuff. It's only 1200 watts, so when you get the frying pan going or you get the kettle, make sure that it doesn't go over that wattage or it's not going to work. And when you're using them, you got to be running the truck to supply the electricity, or otherwise you'll drain your battery real fast. A lot of times at the end of the day, I won't even want to cook, because it takes time. You prepare it, you cook it, you eat it, you got to wash dishes, you're cleaning up and all that stuff. And if, like, I like to run my clock out or get the maximum mileage out of the day that I can, and then I got 10 hours before I get going again. So if I spend 2 hours or 3 hours cooking and cleaning up, that cuts into my rest time. So a lot of times, like I said, I've eaten and munched all day. I'm not even hungry. I might just have something like frozen berries. Grab a bowl of frozen berries, and that's kind of like a treat, dessert. It's also really good for you. Or I'll open a can of sardines, or so sardines are really good for you, especially in oil. You eat a few of those, you got some good protein. I'll have blue corn chips with some salsa. I also buy bricks of cheese and pickles. So in the evening, like I said, it's been a long day. I just want to grab something really fast. The cheese, the pickles, the sardines, and I'm ready to hit the hay like an hour after I stop. And then I get a good night's sleep, because I'm going to get up real early the next day and get going as soon as I can and be as productive as possible. That's my meal planning. Now I will also get a couple of extra things, in case I'm still munchy or I start to get the hungries later in the day. So I get this dried seaweed from Costco. It comes in these little packages, so you get like a whole rack of them. So that's a good little munchie. It's very healthy for you. And mixed nuts. I keep a bag of mixed nuts. I don't go into the store or the truck stop and buy their mixed nuts, because it's expensive. And usually they add something, some artificial flavor or too much salt or some coloring, God knows what. We'll buy the big bags in the grocery store. You get a bag of walnuts, pecans, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, cashews, and just pour them into a Ziploc bag and make your own mix and have it handy somewhere around here. So if you really get the munchies and you're not going to stop for a while yet, you grab a couple of handfuls of mixed nuts, fills you right up, gets rid of the hungries, and away you go. So again, a really healthy snack, something really good for you, and it's filling. All right. Now, it is a little kind of a bar fridge sort of thing, and you could bring a cooler as well. They got these electric coolers now you can plug into the 12-volt socket and keep the food cold for a long time, right? But the point I'm making is when you're leaving home for the first time, you're going to stock up on all these things, and your fresh food is going to run out. So I usually plan it for about a week. I'll bring enough fresh vegetables, and the eggs will be hard boiled and stuff like that, apples, oranges, and so on. If you got them on the truck more than a week, they're all going to start going bad anyway. So then you've got to figure out how to restock with your fresh food, and maybe the stuff that's in the freezer has to be replenished. So at our terminals, if you're at a terminal, usually there's a loaner car you can use. You can run over to the grocery store, buy all your stuff, and then load up the truck again. Sometimes on my reset, I'll take into consideration where I'm going to park for that one day off that I have, so that I'm close enough that I can walk to a grocery store, or I got my scooter or a bike with me or something like that. I can hop on that and run a couple of miles and load up with just the essentials, but it's the fresh stuff, you know. You want to restock. Sometimes you can actually pull into a Walmart. Some Walmarts allow truck parking overnight, or just if you're buying something. If you're going to shop there, you can get in with your truck. You shop, you fill the fridge and get all your stuff, and then take off again. They don't mind it as long as you're not running people over or causing damage or anything like that. But check it out before you go in there. Some of them will put up these barricades where only a car could get through and a truck can't get through because it's too tall. I noticed on Trucker Path, they will show you the Walmarts. You can pull them up and they'll be displayed on the screen. And if you click on it, it will tell you if trucks are not allowed or if overnight parking is not allowed. So check that out too. But like I said, you're gonna restock, say once a week. You know, you gotta somehow get to a grocery store and get replenish those fresh vegetables and things. And like I said, I got that kettle, so I might make an omelet with a few of the eggs, but the rest of them I'll put in the kettle, fill it with water, and boil those eggs right here in the truck, so I can keep making hard-boiled eggs because I got that kettle. Just a little tip for you there. And the other thing is, eating out on the road can get expensive. Even if you're just running into the truck stop and grabbing a sandwich, or at the Loves, they got that whole rack of really healthy stuff like yogurt and apples and fruit and sandwiches and stuff like that. All good for you in that one section, but it can start to add up. You eat in a restaurant a couple of times, you grab the food from the truck stop, there's a taco stand, I'm gonna run over there and grab dinner, and all that stuff. That's nice once in a while, but you're out here to make money and you want to take home as much money as possible. You don't want to spread it all over the country. So again, you plan your meals for the week. You get routines, and you buy all your stuff, throw it in the fridge, and you're stocked up. Away you go. You might Friday night you want to go grab a burger or this or that. Okay, yeah, it's good to get out of the truck and have something different every now and then. I find I enjoy my cooking more than most places I go, though. Like on my reset, I'll make an omelet here. I'll have the eggs and peppers, mushrooms, onions. I'll throw in some garlic. I got all that stuff on the truck, salsa, hot sauces, some basil. Make myself a really good omelet, or I'll get out of the truck, set up beside the truck, cook my liver and stuff like that. Lately, Tanya's got me with carrying this hot air fryer. So I brought some fish fillets, and I can throw them in the hot air fryer while I'm doing other stuff. And 20 minutes later, I got cooked fish, really good. I've met guys that will bring like a slow cooker, those crock pot things there, and you plug it in, and you throw in some ribs or a small roast, or make a big pot of soup, and just let it simmer and cook all day while you're driving. And at the end of the day, you stop, you reach in there, and you got your favorite thing. I don't eat a lot of meat. I might have fish or poultry or something like that, but a lot of times it's just lots of vegetables and stuff like that. You're a carnivore, like not everybody eats like me. I realize that, but there's ways you can do it. There's things you can figure out. You got a fridge, you got a freezer, you can bring appliances if you got an inverter, and you can go to town. That's everything I wanted to say. And anybody who's wondering what I eat and how I survive out here while I'm on the road for 3 or 4 weeks at a time, that's how it works. And let me know how you do it. I know a lot of guys cook in their trucks. A lot of guys have their own special recipes and secrets of how they do it. I really think the important thing is to eat healthy and be healthy. Be aware of nutrition. Cook for yourself more than you eat out, and try to save money. Don't spend it all over the place and then come home with nothing You want to bring that money home, okay? So, hit that subscribe button. Put your comments down below and give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you eat and how you do it. Ring the notification bell, and I'm going to see you down the road. Stay healthy, eat well.